Hello guys, once again welcome to Farming in Africa. Today we are continuing our series that we've entitled Poultry University, and this is episode 3. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I am linking the first video, which was an introduction to this series, basically telling you why we are doing this. And then video number 2 was about acquiring a land for poultry. You can't just buy any land for poultry. And that is why I did that episode number 2 titled Purchasing a Land for Poultry Farming. And I'm linking that here as well. Take your time, go back and watch all those videos, because every week we're going to be releasing a couple of videos just for this series. Each episode is going to have a unique topic and it's going to be very transparent. Today we're going to be talking about what you need to actually build your pen after you have secured your land. And let me tell you a little bit about why we're doing this episode. You guys know the poultry industry is not new in Africa, neither is it new in Ghana. But the issue with it is so many people have done it for so many years, but there isn't much information out there for the youngsters, the next generation like us, to be able to go and research and know and be able to take it to the next level. And when I wanted to start poultry farm, I went to a lot of farmers and most of them weren't very kind or nice to me. They didn't want to share the information on how I can be successful as well. And therefore, when I went into it, I decided, you know what? I'm going to share everything that I do and achieve from poultry farming and put it out there so that you watching me tomorrow, whether you're in Nigeria, Kenya, US, UK, Italy, wherever that you are, you can get the information that I didn't have and do things way better than I am doing it. And therefore today we're going to be talking about building a pen. As you guys know, I have actually built 10,000 capacity pen. And therefore I think you can cut me some slack, because I do deserve and qualify to be able to tell you guys what I did or the things that I needed before I even build a pen. I know we are going to release another video about how to actually build a pen, where I'm going to go into details about the cost, the materials and everything. So you don't want to miss any of the episodes in this series, because it's really going to be very transparent. It's going to be very honesty and entertaining as well. So stay tuned. But let's go right into today's topic, which is about what you need to be able to build a pen. So let's say you've bought your land and you've watched that video. So you've done all the right things that you need to do about the land. You've cleared it, it's all paved, and now you're ready to go into it. The most important thing that I want you to look at is to get an experienced extension officer from your community. I know these guys are everywhere. That is why they are there. They are there to support us. They are there to help farmers. Yes, I know. Not all of them are experienced. Some of them are bookworms. Some of them, won't come. Some of them are this. But trust me, with this, you might need them. But that being said, I'm also going to tell you what you can do in case you don't have it. But the reason why I say you need an extension officer to come is to be able to position where you can start your foundation at. And that is very key, guys. I have had people who have called me. I've been to farms where they have actually built their pen at the wrong position, and therefore it has cost them double the price, or they actually have to change it and rebuild it again. You don't want to make that mistake, and that is why this channel exists, to be able to educate you and give you the knowledge and the information that you need to avoid mistakes like this. So get your extension officer, invite him to the farm and let him look at your land and be able to tell you which position or direction that your pen needs to face. The reason why we say this is because of two things. It's because of air and rain. Rain in the sense that if your pen is actually facing the direction of the rain, when it rains, then your whole pen is going to get wet, right? So if you do know the direction of the rain at your land or at your location, then you can, take the risk and decide to go by. Because what you want to do is you want the pen, if the rain is coming from this direction, your pen needs to be facing the rain so that the back of it will be concrete. Most of the time when we build a pen, at the back of it, we either put concrete or wood. And we do it in a way that once the rain hits it, it actually, will slip down. And if it's blocked, of course, it will definitely reflect back. But maybe sometimes you have 1 plot or 2 plots of land, and therefore you want to minimize it. So you're not really looking at these things. You're like, okay, it's 100 by 70. So I would rather want it to face the 100 side so that I can have 2 on it. Meanwhile, it actually needs to face vertically to the 100 side, right? But if you do that, you can have 2 on it. You as a farmer are actually thinking of ways to utilize your land. But no, that could cost you more money than you expected. So please take note of that. The second point is circulation of air. Right, your pen also air needs to circulate. So you also want to see the direction of the air so that when you put your net by the sides, it actually can circulate and not be blocked because you faced it at the wrong side. So these are the 2 main reasons why I highly encourage you to invite in an experienced extension officer or someone that you trust that can tell you where to actually position your pen. But if you think that you got it, then go for it, because it is not something so tedious to do. You can also test it yourself if you have confidence in doing it. The next thing that you will need is a mason who is going to construct your pen, right? So the chicken pen is tricky, right? It is not done the same way as we do what we call houses. So you need to find somebody who has actually built a couple of chicken pen. Don't be lazy. Go and see what he has done. See how he was able to slope it, because there will be times that you need to clean your pen. You need to be able to create, holes beneath it so that you'll be able to clean it with water. You need to also put pipes under it so that when you clean the water, it goes through the pipe, right? You need to also slope it in a way, right? So there's a couple of things that you need to do when you're building a pen that will take a mason that have actually done it before, right? And not just do it. In terms of also leveling, right? Your pen needs to be at a level. So depending on the slope of your land, if you have a flat level land, then you're good. If you have a slope, he needs to know how many blocks he's going to put at the slopey area and also how many blocks he's going to put at the flat area so that you have a very leveled pen. You don't want a pen where you bring your birds and they are slipping backwards or they can come forward. These are all mistakes that could happen. So please make sure that your mason is not your uncle or your brother, but it's somebody who has experience in building chicken pen. The third one I want to talk about is your carpenter. And this is a hands down. Carpenter for chicken pen is the most crucial and technical aspect, especially because of the roofing, right? I build my chicken pen with 2 materials, right? In terms of the stands. So I build it with wood and also with metal in between the wood. I did that to be able to allow me or enable me innovate the pen. This pen is not something that you do and after 5 years you can use it again, right? I want my next generation to use it. And if you look at the block work that is done at the bottom, that can last as long as, houses last. But the wood is what mostly, termites and weather will destroy. And therefore, all what you need to do is to be able to change it. In order to change it, if I'm taking off the root, I need a metal to be able to hold the roof so that I can take away the wood. And that is why I put metal in between the root, as you guys can see. But if you don't have money to do that, you can go ahead and use the wood, which also will give you a couple of years, and will still survive. But I just did that just for future reason. If my children want to innovate it, they don't have to take the whole thing off before innovating it. They can just keep it and just replace it with new wood. As you can see, the construction of the roof is very different. Again, once you get your position right, you see the space, that the gap that is left between the 2 slanted roof is very important for air circulation. Mostly we think once the air comes from the left side, it will also go out from the right side, but not all of it. Sometimes you need that up circulation, right, for air to be able to go in and out. So that is very important. And I've seen so many chicken pens here where it's just built like this, like we build a house, and therefore anytime you enter that pen, you can feel the heat. And if you enter this pen, you know that the chicken are happy, you know that there is air, and therefore you prevent diseases and you prevent loss of your birds as well, especially when they are very fragile in their first weeks at your farm. So a carpenter, please make sure you have the right carpenter. Make sure you see the work that he has done and you can trust him before you bring him to construct your pen. Show him pictures of this pen. I'm actually going to put something together like a drawing or a PDF so that you guys can have access to it and be able to show it to your artisans as you bring them into this journey of building your poultry pen. But I think the mason, the carpenter, your extension officer are the three key things that you need before you actually start building your pen. Next week, I'm going to take you a step by step on how to build a pen, where to put everything, the demarcation, the materials you need, and then follow up with all the costs involved in building that specific pen. So this is going to be an excited journey, and I'm looking forward to share with you guys so much of what I have learned over the 2 years of running my poultry farm. And I hope you guys will stay and watch this whole series and learn something from it so that you don't repeat the same mistake. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with another video on the step-by-step on what to do when building your chicken pen. Thank you, and I will see you later.